All right, folks, it's 1 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started today. We're going to try to start this one a little bit on time. So we're got some guests today that we're going to be interviewing. So as you can see, Tony is not speaking today. So those of you who have gone through some of the webinars that we have presented, I'm taking his kind of opening and closing role today and stepping back a little bit from the presentations. We really want to allow you to speak to some of our leadership team today to address a couple of things that are coming up, especially with our 12.4 and releases to the future. So we decided to do a little bit different today. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit more of an interview and presentation style. So we're going to start out with Dan Flowers, our CEO. He's going to be joining us and answering some questions from Paul Harris. Paul is going to, one of our product engineers who you've heard many times on these webinars. He's going to be kind of doing a little bit of an interview. And then once we complete that, Paul's going to switch a little bit of the gears and talk to John Rivero. John is our product owner. He drives a lot of the direction about what's going on, and he's going to talk about our feedback loop and how changes that we are making in the feedback loop in order to improve our collection of data and also improve the way we use that data to drive the product direction. As many of you know and have heard me talk about over the years, I always like to say that Issuetrak has been a product that has been driven by customers, and how we listen and how we respond to them has been a big piece of how Issuetrak has survived and prospered over all of these years. So we're just making some changes, and John's going to go over some of that. So, and we're probably going to run a little shorter than normal. This probably is going to run about an hour instead of a normal hour and a half. So just be prepared. As you can see on the screen there, my face is being showed up. I'm Senior Product Engineer at Issuetrak. I have been here too long. As many of you just heard from the conversation, I have been here longer than the software has been around, and I've been supporting it for its entire lifetime. So I'm here. Paul Harris, my compatriot in crime. He's also a Senior Product Engineer. He's going to be doing a lot of the interviews and the leading of the sessions today. So I'm turning that role over to him, and hopefully I'll be answering some of those. Trevor, I want to go ahead and mention this. Trevor answered me a question. He says, will the recording of the presentation be available? It'll be probably in about 2 days, no later than Monday. It takes really to render this out a couple of hours to make sure I've got a good link, and then we'll send that out. Usually we wait and do it with a survey link that we send at the end of the presentation. I do want to go ahead and point out the surveys. We really would like to get feedback from you on these webinars, not only on how we're doing, but on what you would like to hear from us in future presentations. Original intent was to stop this in August, and we felt that this was a good way to speak to you. And what we want to do is continue to do that. But we'd like to hear from you about what topics you would like us to discuss in the future. So take that survey, take the opportunity to provide us feedback with some of the information that's going to be there. So we'll see how that works out, but hopefully we can invite you. Another thing to do, as Trevor just noticed, he went ahead and answered, had a question posted in the question section. I'll be monitoring that today. So if you want to post a question to our team, please feel free, and we'll go ahead and respond to that question live here if possible. If we don't get enough time to respond to the questions, we will respond to them after the session is over. So we always want to hear from you. Other things that if you want to do, if you want to hit a chat, Paul and I both are looking at chat also, so we're all kind of monitoring some of the tools that we have with this platform in order to keep in communications with you. So just keep a look at it and keep looking for some of the tools that we have. So I think what we're doing, we're about ready to roll on. We want to go ahead and turn this over to Paul and let Paul go ahead and lead us into the interview with Dan.
All right. So who we've got first, we've got Dan Flowers, our CEO. And I believe I've got this here. Dan he's kind of leading the product, right? So Dan, if you're ready, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and tell you thank you for taking the time to speak to our audience today. I mean, we really appreciate you coming here to talk about what's going on inside the product.
Sure. Well, Paul, Mike, John, thanks for having me here. I love every opportunity I get to speak with our customers. It's a big part of how I got where I am today, starting with support and working my way up. Many of the names of the attendees here are pretty familiar. It's kind of nice. You know, I think I've joined you on one other webinar before. Hopefully I won't be a stranger to these. It's always nice to be able to engage our customers. And I get really passionate about our product. So whenever I get to talk about where our product is going, what we're doing, and how we're listening to our customers, I get really excited. So make sure to slow me down if I go too fast or if I run too long.
So
I can
where
keep
we starting
going
with?
if you'd
Yeah,
like.
I'm back into my normal. I forgot we don't have Tony today. Yeah, don't forget we don't have Tony. So where we want to go today, right? The My Issues page. And I kind of wanted to distill this down to one word, iconic, right? Everybody that uses Issuetrak, everybody that's seen Issuetrak, everybody that logs in has seen that My Issues page. And, you know, the other day I logged into Issuetrak, my Issuetrak site, and My Issues was gone, right? Dan, where did the My Issues page go?
Well, Paul, nowhere. But we did rename it. And the reason we renamed it is to better, illustrate the transition that this page is going through. I don't want to, put the cart before the horse here, but we are dramatically changing how our customers interact with our product. And My Issues, while it was a great name, Issue Hub illustrates a little bit better what we're trying to turn it into, which is the place for administrators, power users, end users to grind through the work that they have to do, regardless of your role using our product. We wanted you to have a central place that you can go and do really powerful things. And I'm really kind of excited to show you what we've already released and then talk about where we're going.
Well, I kind of, from an internal thing, we like to be transparent to our customers, but I know from an internal thing that the guy that's not here, right, Tony, had a big was a big push towards. He had sort of some of the original idea. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Some of the other folks involved.
Well, yeah. So Tony had, he works with our customers all the time. He hears from our prospects, and one of the things that had consistently come up for him was the need to be able to, in one quick view, see and process all of the open issues within the site. Well, we listened to our customers and we listened to Tony, and giving everybody the view of all open issues just didn't seem like enough. But it started sparking a lot of ideas. How people interface, how much they can do, how much they have to click, how much time do they spend with screen refreshing. And we took that idea, culled all of our other user feedback that we've received, and then pulled from actual usage experience, mine and others, as not only support personnel, but every other customer I've worked with. And we matured that idea into what I think is going to be monumental for how people use our product. Now, what we're releasing now, 12.4, what we just released, it's just the baby step. It's the first step in prep for some stuff I'll show you today, kind of an alpha where we're going next. But even that's not the stop, where we're going to stop. We have a lot of opportunity for people here in this webinar or other customers to drive the direction of where this feature goes. It's pretty limitless, though. You want me to go ahead and just show it off?
Yeah, let's show it.
All right. So I'm guessing most of our customers in attendance today are aware that we have released 12.4. If you're a cloud customer, you'll likely be upgraded to 12.4 next Tuesday night. We'll do most of our upgrades on Tuesday evenings. If you want it early, you can have it now. All you have to do is you contact our support team and they'll help you get on the schedule to get upgraded. But there's a number of big changes to what was My Issues and now is the Issue Hub. We're going to start with something monumental. So there's a lot of data that is processed by the Issue Hub. This site that I'm showing you right here has over 45,000 open issues. Now that's extreme. Not a lot of our customers want to maintain 45,000 open and processing issues. It does happen. We have plenty of customers in that bucket, but that's a lot of issues at one time to be shown. So I'm going to refresh this screen and kind of give you an idea. The site's processing through 45,000 open issues, and you notice it's not counting these. It's still trying to run through those processes. But if you were quick, you noticed this new open issues tab instantly had that full count. So one of the big things we've done, and we'll be extending to all other tabs here, is massively change the performance of how this functions, not only for our premise customers and how it affects their backend server and infrastructure, but also for our cloud customers' experience. This type of waiting is too long. So when I click the new Open Issues tab, you have instantly all the information you need made available to you. We'll be extending this type of performance to every single tab you see here. The tab you see for Open Issues is obviously the brand new tab, and it's the introduction for all of our customers to where we're heading with how you work with tables and our presented data in our product. So there's a number of really cool things we've added here. And I'm going to go through them kind of quickly because Paul and Mike have asked me not to ramble on too long today. And I'm going to point them out, but if there's questions, I'm sure they'll stop me. Again, this is what we've already shipped, so you can have this at any time. So the first thing I want to point out is our customers have clearly spoken. You want to be able to use your data your way, and you want to be able to filter through your issues in a meaningful way to you. And for every customer, that's different. We've listened to that. And the first thing we've done is clean up the tab just a little bit in order to, the tabs up here to allow some segregation so you know what you're doing. You also notice there's a couple of new indicators. We have now allowed all of our customers to sort and filter live data instantly. So here's an example. Let's go to severity. I'll type for critical. So I don't even have to type the whole string. And what we're going to have happen is the site is going to process through every single issue. And as a beta server, this is not normal performance because there's no critical. Bear with me.
I'll bet you there's a critical priority.
Well, you might be right. I had a dev refill this site just recently. Oh, see, this is what you get. Critical. No. Well, it helps if you got to see me use the clear filter feature.
Yeah.
Let's try another filtered value on a known state. If it functions. Again, not production resources, not production data. So bear with me here. All right, this should come back. And if not, we'll just jump over to the version 2 and show you where it's working in an alpha. Because I did test that one. Okay, let's make sure the filter did fully clear. Oh, see, works instantly when it clears perfectly. All righty, so let's try something we do see, admin. We want to filter on the assigned to for admin. Perfect, working as expected, thank you. I love it when things go as planned, and if they don't, especially whatever just occurred there, we're going to guarantee reproduce it and solve it. This is our normal process. I bet this is mostly just human error. My days of being a technical support analyst are far behind me, and as a CEO, I'm seemingly losing some of that skill. So to catch up real quickly, we allow you to sort and filter this data in any way you see fit. Our customers really need to be able to look at their information and see it very clearly and interact with this information is whatever is important to them. So every tab, you can sort A to Z. You have an indicator of the sort status clearly on the column, and whichever one has the filter statement. So in this case, this we're assigned to is filtered by admin, and we're sorted on the opened column. Another thing we wanted to quickly do for the issue hub is reduce noise. Not every customer needs every tab. Not every customer has every feature enabled that requires the tab. So we've given you the ability to turn off the noise that you don't need. Now, there is one or two that you can't disable And there's some other backend helping here. If you have certain features turned off, it'll give you some guidance as to where you need to go and turn it on. But instantly, you notice without having to hit save or update, you've changed the state of the issue hub, and no longer are those tabs loading. So not only have you reduced the clutter, but you've also reduced the impact on your infrastructure if you're a premise customer. So these are really cool, but that is just showing you your open issues and not giving you really any power. Well, we've really listened to our customers, and I kind of teased that we wanted to make the issue hub the actual hub for all of our customers to use it. So I'm going to jump over to an alpha of the second phase of the issue hub. Now there's a lot coming
Dan?
in the second phase. Oh yeah.
Dan, can I interrupt you with a question? Jency wanted to know, can the order of the tabs be changed?
Not in 12.4, but in the second phase, yes. So we needed to lay some groundwork, right? We have a lot to do with our product. And quite honestly, just getting the behavioral changes from, what is it, let's say, almost a minute for data to be yielded and counts to be done to instantaneous, that was a lot of work. That is a ton of development time, optimization, technical debt removal. It seems insignificant, but it is monumental for how the product behaves. And that same structure and foundation will be extended to every area of the product when we're yielding data, dashboard, other things like that. That would be a goal of ours. But that brings me to the exciting part, where we're heading for phase 2, and where you as customers have a real opportunity to change how you work with our product and drive our direction. So the first thing you'll notice, and I failed to mention, in 12.4, we got rid of the legend at the bottom, because the indicators, if there were issue indicators here, are shown on the left. You didn't, and you can hover over to get an explanation. When we jump over to phase 2, which we should be able to deliver to you in 6 weeks or less, don't quote me on that, development, QA, the processes, you have to go through, they have to be honored. And since we take such good care in the quality of our product, we won't ship it until it's ready. But we quickly want to deliver you where we're headed next. And I only have a little bit to show you about the phase 2. The rest I'm going to leave to mystery, but I'll talk about where it's headed. The next thing you'll notice here is we moved the next page buttons. We don't feel a big need to have you scroll down to be able to interact all the time. We want you staying up here, seeing the issues and interacting with them. We still have the open issues tab, as you see here, but now on this tab, you're going to be able to interact with your issues in a way that you never have before. Without limitation, you can select your issues and mass update them instantly. Not an agent license required. All end users can do this within their permission sets. So whatever permissions you give your users, they'll be able to interact in a mass capacity on their issues to do various actions. Close issue, required by date, next action, class, target date assigned to. Those are just the start. This can go anywhere that you guys want to see it. Any action that you wish to see done in bulk instantly at the fingertips of your employees should be transformative. We really want to reduce the time that you have to update an issue. Let's say you have 4 issues and you don't want to, that are all identical. You want to give the same exact update. You want to assign them to a round robin group to make sure that they're distributed to your technicians. Well, you can do that by filtering the list to what you want, selecting the issues that apply, and assigning them instantly. Now it's endless where you could go for this. I have my own ideas, and I'm not going to lead you into making suggestions, but I can see a number of really powerful things that would reduce the amount of work your folks have to do. No longer do I have to find an issue, open it, edit it, add the note, save, go to the second issue, and do the same action 4 or 5 times. Now, we're going to continue to extend this, but we want you guys to guide us. We want our customers to say, this would be transformative to my business, to my operations, to my folks. We want to deliver what you want, not what we think you want. So John will talk about feedback and how you can do that. I won't steal any of his thunder. But where I still wasn't very happy with what this was providing. Again, it's important that our customers be able to interact with their data as they need it and reduce noise. So in combination with this, we are going to give you the ability to add your own custom columns, your own custom tabs, and in any order you see fit, including just about every single field available on an issue. That means your UDFs, anything that is not a large text field. So for obvious reasons, we exclude notes, but you can then sort, filter, and present data to your users in a meaningful way that is targeted to your usage and targeted to your data, and then act on it instantly. And there will be a brand new interface for that under the Issue Hub settings with a really wonderful way for you to build these columns and build these pages to your needs. You'll then be able to remove what we provide and focus on what is important to you. And we really hope that this changes how our customers interact with our product. We'll extend the same performance you see on open issues for 45,000 issues or more to every single tab that's yielded as well. That's just the start of what this is paving the way for, and the sky is the limit. Any action you want to see is not without opportunity here for your folks. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how customers interact with this, how it grows, and seeing how we can help our customers do more with less and faster. Thank you, folks.
And
Well,
Dan, let me ask a quick question here. I had a question in here that says, will our dashboard still work as currently defined using as next action? I assume it has to do with permissions. So if you have next action user that accesses issues from the dashboard and they can edit, update, put a note on there, I assume there won't be any change on how those people can access the issues also. It's just the same filters with different,
exactly.
different roles.
And there probably needs to be some distinction between the dashboard and Issue Hub, but they perform the same. If you keep as next action, it will work as next action, as it always has. But I do believe, and John can confirm this, I think we do allow you to customize our existing ones if needed, or build your own for sure. I know you can build your own. I'd have to double check with the scope of the ticket if you're able to modify the pre-existing ones that we deliver. If not, you can easily create your own. We've provided that functionality. And then it is all driven by permission. So nobody is interacting with issues that they're not, they don't have visibility or permissions for. So for instance, if you have visibility to see an issue, but you don't have the ability to assign it, that option won't be presented to you. Likewise, if you have visibility to an issue and you have asked to do an action that doesn't fit the criteria, let's say you want to update 5 issues, 3 of them have the same user-defined field and custom screen, but the other 2 don't, and you accidentally selected all 5 and wanted to change the value of one of your user-defined fields to yes. When the Issue Hub processes through that, it will only do the 3 that apply, and it will present you an alert message that says 2 were not updated and give you a generic reason why you weren't able to do that action. So this way, there's no risk beyond what you have delivered to your end users, and you won't be able to create a state for your data or do anything that isn't already allowed for the interface of the product. So there's a lot of protection built in and a lot of function built in. A lot of care and thought went into making sure that this worked effectively for you.
And Dan, I want to kind of follow up with you because it has to do with how Paul and I teach Issuetrak.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, we've always kind of moved away from the My Issues page and moved us more into the dashboard because we felt we had more control over what we could do within the page. This seems like we're moving back. And I think that's what we need to start thinking about it, because we're moving to where the My Issues page now becomes a more powerful tool than the dashboard. And it's going to require some changes on how we actually interact and how we talk about it. The dashboard is going to become kind of more, it looks like what it was intended to be, a management overview, a quick look into what's going on, because the power of being able to update so many issues at one time, being able to filter data quickly and change those filters without having to reload a page, is going to be monumental in the evolution of Issuetrak. And I think that's why we need that feedback from the customers on where we want to go, so that we can do this in the right way that's going to be effective for them. So I'm
You're
glad to
absolutely
have
right.
you
The
here
dashboard
today.
is, yeah, you're absolutely right. The dashboard's very powerful, and it will always be very powerful. And we'll extend some of this to it as we continue to work with improving the product. But we want to make actions within our product as efficient as possible. And while the dashboard's a wonderful way to consume information, it's not necessarily the best way to get actions completed. Not the best way to, see and interact. That's what we're delivering here. The ability to interact without having to lose context or wait on reloading or any of those other bottlenecks that could be presented to the busy users that we have.
Yeah.
So it should be really cool. And customers, we listen to your feedback. So if you want to see things happen differently or go in a different direction or be extended elsewise, we will listen and we will deliver. If we can make it fit within the application, that it is our desire to deliver it.
Well, Dan, that makes a good transition into what our next segment is going to be. We are going to talk to John Rivera about going ahead and how we're doing feedback and how we actually listen to that. We're going to let him present that particular message, but we want to give you a little bit of time between the two sessions. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break, come back, start back in 10 minutes, and then we'll have John talk to you about feedback, so that when we're listening to you about all of these type of ideas that come from you as you start using Issuetrak, and especially using the new Issuetrak Hub, this is how we would like for you to provide that feedback. And we believe we've got some good ideas moving forward. So I hope you're bar with us. We're going to go ahead and stop real quick. I can get another cup of coffee, enjoy you, and you can take a break, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. We're going to put up a timer, so we'll start back in 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So I thank you, Dan, for your time. I thank you for presenting that great information. We'll wait for you to answer some more questions later. All right, we'll see you in 9 minutes and 20 seconds.
Perfect.
Thank you, everybody.